Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 5 of The Long Ride with Wild Ponies.
We have officially crossed the halfway point in season 1. So exciting. We are Doug and Talisha from the band Wild Ponies. And today's featured artists are Stacey Earle and Mark Stuart.
This is really special for us because we love Stacey and Mark, and we've loved them forever. We learned their songs to play for our wedding. We learned, when Simple Girl came out, that record, when it came out, Talisha and I learned every single one of those songs.
It's true.
It's true. And we were such huge, we went to go see them everywhere they would play. This was before we were doing music full time even, I guess. And we were like stalkers almost, so much so that finally they became friends.
They finally gave up and became friends.
They finally gave up and became friends. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that we have a favorite artist that we've interviewed on The Long Ride. But,
no, I love them all.
But I will say that Stacey and Mark, for us, this may have be the most emotional episode we've recorded to date, just because there's such a history with us and Stacey and Mark, and how we wouldn't be doing what we do as Wild Ponies without their influence.
That's exactly right. Stacey and Mark mentioned in the I'm not gonna give you a spoiler, but they mentioned a song that one of their friends wrote where they say, you don't want to meet your heroes, you don't want to meet your heroes, you don't want to meet your heroes, and they don't really want to meet you. Not true about Stacey and Mark.
Not true at all. Well, can't wait for you guys to hear this episode, this and every episode of The Long Ride with Wild Ponies, brought to you by the Russell Nashville.
Beautiful hotel.
Right in the heart of the 5 Points area of East Nashville, and Lurchterm 1917.
Amazing notebooks. They've changed my life.
They have changed your life.
But for now, let's drop into the Bowery Vault. What do you think?
Yeah. Cute little stageware, venue, coffee shop, bar, right behind Nicoletto's. You're going to climb those stairs and walk into the belly of the Bowery Vault.
Here we go with Stacey and Mark.
Woo.
Hello. Never stood a chance, never saw it coming. The best kind of loving just comes all of a sudden. Caught that bug before I knew what it was. It was boom and boom, out went my lights, I stumbling around into the night. It's hopeless. I'm helplessly in love. Well, honey, it must be love, you know. It must be love, comes from heaven above. Yes, baby, it must be love. Tell me, it must be love. It's a hopeless, I'm a helplessly in love. Miles away, around the next corner, no flashing light, no nothing to warn ya. Wouldn't matter anyway if there was. You can run as far, as fast as you can, try to stop them bullets like a Superman. It's a hopeless. I'm a helplessly in love. Well, honey, it must be love, you know. It must be love, comes from heaven above. Yes, baby, it must be love. Tell me, it must be love. It's a hopeless, I'm a helplessly in love. Oh, oh. Mark Stuart. Better change your ways and it break down the wall. It's a change of heart that can make you fall. Once you're down, well, there ain't no getting up, no.
much. Well, really appreciate that. Yeah, that's our love song. We spelled it L-U-U-U-V. And this is a song that takes me back when I was 16 and in trouble for one of everything. Going back where I came from, going looking for someone I left behind. We were both babies at the time. My family moved away. I wanted you to go, but you had to stay. And out the back window, I waved goodbye. Your mother held you as you cried. We played hide and seek and finders keep. Guess it only the loser is left to weep. Well, I've got a secret, but cannot keep it. I better cross my heart, hope to die. I'm gonna go be a big girl now. I'm gonna show them just how I can make it all on my own. They'll say, my girl, well, oh, how you grown. And I'll be married in the spring. No white dress, no diamond ring. With the baby on the way. Well, I know I heard one say, I guess she'll never learn a thing. We play hide and seek and it finders keep. Guess it only the loser is left to weep. Well, I've got a secret, but cannot keep it. I better cross my heart, hope to die. Some say leave well enough alone. 'Cause some things are better, you know, if never known. But I still remember the place. Just have no name for a empty space. How I reap what I have sown. At least I get to keep what I have grown. And I'll let the willow weep for a secret it must keep. Intermission down San Antone. We play hide and seek and it finders keep. it, I better
cross my heart, hope to die.
Well, for those of you listening on the radio, you need to know that the Talisha cry count is now at 2.
2 cries, 2 songs. We're off to a grand start.
It is amazing how much we love you guys and your songs. And it's been too long since we've heard you and seen you, and it's just, it's glorious. It's amazing. Thank you for doing this with us.
That's some early Stacey Earle and Mark Stuart material right there.
That was the beginning of the Stacey Earle, and of course it was always Mark as well, and that's how we basically became a duo, because when I put my record out, Mark was producing with me, he was writing with me, he was just hitting the road with me, and we kind of melted into this duo along the way at that point. But that's it was not where Mark started, of course.
Yeah,
we ended up in that.
Listen,
place.
The thing was, we were in Nashville, and a few different people who were producers took a stab at recording Stacey's music, and they just always missed the mark. There was no slam on them. I'm not going to name them, but you're
not going to name them.
They just always missed the mark on what kind of treatment it needed. And finally, we just woke up and said one day, we're not getting any younger. Let's go make a record ourselves, produce it ourselves, and let's build it around our 2 guitars and our 2 voices. So her first album, Simple Girl, it does have some other players on it, but it's very much built around this sound you just heard.
And it was a definite I would say one of the first independent records, because it didn't have any money, so I mean it was so independent. It was going down. I was in the Village.
Yeah.
And I was going, I want to make this record. And I walked by the Villager and looked over, and there was Paul Freeman, a friend of ours, that always came to listen to us play when we'd play like at Tony Roma's and over at the Grapevine Cafe and so I just went over. I was talking to him. I went and walked in the Village. I sat down at the bar. I said, I just want to make a record. He goes, well, how much would it cost you to make a record? I said, I don't know, $2,000.
Yeah.
I was so clueless about it, even though I'd had my brother all these years. And he loaned us $2,000, and we made Simple Girl.
Oh, you're kidding me!
Wow.
That's amazing.
We did it in a couple of days, and that even bought the first 500 copies of it.
The first 500.
Our last record, we made our last record in 2 days, in about real similar budget, and it's the record that I'm the most proud of we've ever made. I mean, it just goes to show you.
And our first CD sold was at the Twice Told Cafe in Louisville,
Kentucky.
They were out printed, and they didn't make it in time for our show, so we had to leave. And my dad showed up. Like it was 5 minutes after, just as we were coming off stage, my dad walked in the door with the boxes of CDs, and we sold the first Simple Girl.
Wow.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, I got goosebumps. So crazy.
Speaking of that, this show's called The Long Ride, and this is really a show that takes an artist's whole approach to this crazy career that we've chosen to dive into. So thinking about that, do you remember your first paid gig? I know it's different for you, but do you remember, do you have a memory of your first paid
mine's
gig?
Kind of embarrassing. Because, as an independent artist, though, or are you talking about as a paid?
Any kind of
Okay. I was on Steve Earle's payroll.
Yeah,
my first stage was an arena. Well, actually, we played a practice show in Fairview before we left on an arena tour in Sydney, Australia. It was on I played on Steve's Hardway record, and unfortunately we just lost Joe Hardy, who produced that album. He passed away just a couple of days ago. Anyway, that's so sad. Anyway, we left on that tour, and so my first paycheck would have been about a week after that tour.
Jeez, that is.
It came with per diem and everything. When I came back to Nashville and got off the bus,
she had to come down from it. She really literally did her first gig in an arena in Australia.
Yeah.
What about you, Mark? What was your first gig?
I still haven't made it to an arena in Australia. But I will say this. My dad always had a bar band, a working bar band. Every Friday and Saturday nights he played. And at age 15, I was in his band. And the first time I played, it was in a beer joint. And we did a 4-hour gig, you know. And my dad came up and gave me $40.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I said, wow, there's money in this business. Yeah. and little did I know, all these years later, I was getting the same pay.
Well, as my mentor, Mark Stuart, once told me, there's tens and tens of dollars to be made in this business.
There really is. Or there used to be. You do it?
Just
Oh, Stacey and Mark. Love them so much.
Those are 3 of my very favorite Stacey Earle and Mark Stewart songs.
I don't know how you would choose. It's so hard.
Like I said, on stage, I have already cried.
You know, Mark has threatened to come out and play guitar with us for years. He's threatened to come out and play some Stratocaster with us and just have fun. We never have taken him up on that. We should do that sometime.
It would be amazing.
It would be fun.
And Mark plays guitar like a multi-instrument.
He does.
I mean, he's sort
he gets
of
so many
playing
cool tones.
all of the things at the same time. It's amazing.
And it's cool listening to these recordings because all you're hearing is that Ear Trumpet Labs microphone, all the sound through that. That's not even like plugged in or electrified or anything. It's just the Ear Trumpet.
Ear Trumpet Lab microphone. Both of those voices, both of those guitars.
They are so good in rooms like that where they can really work the mic and or your ears in such a cool way.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. Yeah.
So fun. So if you are a creative type, which I bet that you are, you would love Leuchtturm 1917 bullet journals.
I love these bullet journals. They have really changed my life. I've become so much more organized. I've got the front section where I'm using just bullet journal to-do list stuff. And then I've got, because there's 2 bookmarks in this amazing journal,
yes.
I've got the second bookmark dropping me right into the middle where I'm keeping notes about every meeting that I have and all the things I need to buy from the home improvement stores when I go back and forth because we just bought a house. So that means like multiple trips a day. And without my Leuchtturm 1917 book, I would have to make more than 5 trips a day. But now it's only 5 because of them. So it's great.
You're keeping your notes, the measurements of the windows, of all of the distances in the new house.
I also feel very cool carrying this journal. It's a good looking journal.
It's good looking.
Yeah.
And you can have them embossed with your name or a company logo, whatever. It's an exciting and beautiful product. And over on our Facebook page, facebook.com/wildponiesmusic, we're sharing a video of Leuchtturm 1917 with their amazing slogan, Denken mit der Hand.
Which translates to what, if you were speaking German?
Think with the hand.
I love it. It's so cool. Think with the hand. Well, big thanks to those guys. We love them. And we're sure that you will as well if you check them out. You can see them in a lot of great bookstores now.
True.
Yeah.
It's time for the Long Ride Gear Guide.
The Long Ride Gear Guide, where we tell you about a piece of equipment that can be used either for music, for touring, for travel in general, or for motorcycles.
Anything that can help you on any kind of long ride.
And we're giving them 1 to 5 horseshoe ratings, depending on how cool we think they are. So today we are reviewing the Kytone Poncho. That's spelled Kytone, Poncho.
This is a French product.
We had to pay euros to get these. They're very cool. So what it is, it's basically a poncho, but on one side of it, it's this cool fabric that, like a weave. There's a couple of different colors you can get. It looks like one of those Mexican blankets you get in a truck stop, but cooler.
Way better.
Way better. And on the other side is waxed canvas that's completely waterproof.
Yeah. So it's kind of a 3-in-1 deal. It's like a poncho and a blanket, and it has eyelets on the end that you can attach it to your motorcycle to make a little road trip tent.
I have to admit, we've never used it as a tent, but we've used it every other way. There's a zipper in the middle so you can zip and put your head through, and it kind of works as a rain jacket, like for around a campfire or something like that. It's kind of awesome.
Or a music festival.
Or a music festival. They're great for music festivals.
We've taken ours to a lot of music festivals, and they're perfect because of that waxed back side of the fabric.
Yeah.
You can lay it down on a damp ground,
Not even worry about it.
And your butt's not going to get wet. It's great.
Yeah, and it comes with a great little leather carrying handle that you just wrap around it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll look very cool if you have one. We're going to give them four horseshoes. Four horseshoes. Straight up 4 horseshoes. Lots of luck in that, I think.
4 horseshoes and a great big nay.
If you want to find out more about them, go to wildponies.net and click on the show notes, and we'll have links to their website where you can order them yourselves or see them in use. They're really cool.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Maybe we'll post a picture of us using ours on facebook.com/wildponiesmusic as well.
Maybe we will. Let's drop back into the Bowery Vault and hear a little bit more from Stacey Earle and Mark Stuart.
All right. Okay. Here we go. How do you feel? What is your relationship, and what has been your relationship with the music industry, living in Nashville and being a part of
Mark
the
and I,
industry in quotation marks?
Yeah. Well, I did do a stint where I was a staff writer. I landed a staff writing deal. I was on a great team. I had Angela Cassett, I had Keith Urban, myself, and Harley Allen. Fabulous writer. So it was a great time for that. But I found out after a while, I was wanting to write my own. Had this own thing I was doing, but it wasn't really what the market was wanting. And like Mark said, when they would take me in the studio, they'd take my guitar away and tell me to sing, and I'm kind of attached to my guitar.
And you've got such a great, unique way to play it too. It's fantastic.
Thanks.
So percussive.
It's so percussive. I love you playing.
I kind of mess them up a bit, but I just I don't want to say it's a love-hate because I'm surrounded around the music industry, and so was Mark. But we wish we would have been more accepted to it, but I don't think they really knew what to do with us. So,
how does that compare to your relationship? Because I think they often don't have anything to do with each other. Your relationship with the industry versus your relationship with your fans.
Right.
Well, for us, we actually busted a move one day. We started making records on our own label.
Right.
And we got out of Nashville. And listen, I gotta say, I'm a native Nashvilleian. I'm from here, and so my history here is my entire life. But when we got out of this sort of pressure cooker and got out on the road and were playing for all these audiences in places like Olympia, Washington, and places like Wapakoneta, Ohio, and places like Des Moines, and we were playing all over the U.S. and Canada and the U.K. and Europe,
Spain,
and of course Spain.
We started even booking ourselves, and until we got landed an agent.
But there are people in Wapakoneta, Ohio. I've never been there.
I've never been to Wapakoneta. What's who's booking that show, Mark?
But, I mean, there are people in those
It's a very cool place.
who are
Great pizza.
deep fans of yours, who swim in Stacey Earle and Mark Stewart music, and you're the soundtrack of their lives.
And when you run into it, because we'll be playing somewhere you'd never think, and they show up and they're from Wapakoneta.
Yeah. People do funny things. The person who sees you, in Manchester, England, shows up in Baltimore one day.
Totally. Yeah.
And they have this smug look on their face, like, try to guess where you know them from.
I hate that
So they're like, you know my name, I know you do.
But you're so right. We have people who are diehard fans who have taken weeks of vacation time to travel around and come to see us for an entire week, driving to all the different towns.
Yeah.
Well, thinking of relationships that you form over the years with industry, fans, cars,
fellow artists.
You
exactly.
That's it. You two have been the most generous people, and not just to us, but to other artists. I mean,
we used to drive through Nashville, and we would call and tell Mark and Stacey we were coming through before we moved here. And Mark would say, "Hey, well, okay, great. Pull over at exit whatever. Where was that meeting? 3
Ashland City.
in Ashland City."
Yeah.
And I have lunch, and we'd sit down and we'd talk for like hours. And Mark would tell us the names of this person
Wendell
that books
Smith.
this show or that or this, how to get in touch with this, just whatever, all kinds of advice.
Mark
Just-
would
But
break
I'm
out
sitting on the
database.
Wapakoneta info. But
yeah. Okay.
But we believe, we always want to share it. It's like there's no need to. But yeah, we all have to kind of, it's a competitive thing out there. But that's not the way we looked at it.
Yeah.
It's just like we wanted to see people to have the same opportunities we had. It's not like we're sitting on the top of anything, but it's a top.
you're a
But it's a
hub.
top of something.
Yeah, it is.
And it's something him and I did, and we, him and I cherish that.
Well, listen, it's a big honor that the two of you said those things about us,
It is.
because I think
Thanks.
in the grand scheme of things, I would rather someone say that about us than to be running around going, those guys, they may be in the top 10, but they're jerks. I ran into them.
Well, there's a friend of ours who wrote a song that said the lyric is that you
You don't want to meet your heroes. You
Yeah,
don't want to
right.
meet your heroes. You don't want to meet your heroes, and they don't want to meet you.
Well, it's not always
well, I'm
true.
super
Yeah, it's not
Teddy
always
Larkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy Larkin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this part of the long ride show. This is the speed bump.
We're gonna do a speed bump
We're
round.
going to do a speed bump round.
Speed bump.
Yes. Quick answer.
We've hit
Quick on
a
your
few, we've hit a few
answers.
speed bumps.
You ready? You hit a few speed bumps.
Okay.
You
I'm
do this.
scared.
Okay, you're scared. All right, I'm gonna start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start. Okay. You can both answer together or separately,
Okay.
however you feel appropriate. Pen or pencil?
Pen.
Pen.
Mountains or ocean?
Ocean.
T is for Texas or Tennessee?
Tennessee.
Oh, it's for Texas. but we would both drink tea.
Okay.
I thought you were going to go hot tea. Him and I both drink hot tea.
Cracker Barrel or Waffle House?
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel.
Cook or wash dishes?
Oh, cook. He doesn't cook, but he does help me with dishes.
I've never cooked. I've only recently started to help washing dishes.
Same.
Okay, fill up before or after the gas light comes on?
Before.
I have actually run out of gas 8 times in my life.
Okay, Merle, Travis or Haggard?
Travis.
Travis or Haggard?
Yeah.
Oh,
for
for
him.
me, that's really difficult. I can't
Yeah.
even answer it.
Okay,
I'm
fair
not
enough.
even going to do it.
Fair enough.
Sunrise or sunset?
Sunrise.
Last year or next year?
Sunset, yeah. Last year or next year?
Yeah.
I dwell in the past. Last year.
This one is specifically for you guys. The Blues or Zippity Doo-Dah?
Well, I'm gonna have to go zippity doo dah.
She's more full of zippity doo dah than anybody I think I've ever met. Even when things are really dark and gray, she
how I have to roll.
manages to be zippity doo dah. You know,
It's amazing.
I'm probably a little bit more dark.
More blue.
Not overly dark, but
But-
not zippity doo dah.
Not zippity doo dah. Why don't you do a blues or zippity doo dah song, and then we'll come back and ask you a couple more questions.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. That wasn't
Your choice,
so rapid.
blues or zippity doo dah.
Well, listen, when I first went on the road to tour as a youngster, I went to Canada for a couple of months, open. And while I was there, Merle Travis passed away, and he was one of my musical heroes. And a girl I went to high school with named Deborah Stuart also perished in an automobile accident at a young age. And I didn't find out about these 2 deaths until many, many weeks later. And I sat down and wrote this song, not immediately at that point, but a couple of years later when I was sort of revisiting all of that in my mind, I wrote this song, and it's called Dedication. I almost hate to go back home. Somebody's died every time I've been gone. I ain't saying I don't wanna know. It's just that it brings me down so low, low. I'm out seeking my fortune in life. I'm too independent to have me a wife. A lot of folks wanna just settle down. Some don't get to choose, they're lowered to the ground. Sometimes it's hard for a singer to be proud with the same old failures and the drunken crowds. I suppose I could just turn around. That would be the same as shooting me down.
Down.
Down. I go out night after night, and I wonder if I've treated myself right. One night I'll dedicate my first song to the ones with families who worked all along. Now the years have passed since the tears have dried. My next song will go out to the ones who died. And then the audience will seem I do is dedicated to myself. They don't wanna know what it's like to be me. They're not concerned, but then why should they be? I go out night after night, and I wonder if I've treated myself right.
That was definitely would be on the blues side.
Yeah.
And that was actually Mark did that song the first night that we met.
I did.
Yeah.
I did do that one the first night.
And then, well, I was going to do the zippity cancha dance. Are we going to do wedding night?
That's pretty zippity doo.
Okay.
It's all about our wedding night.
Because I wrote this just before we got married and stuff to each other.
That's right.
To each other. Up early this morning on my day to shine. Daddy's drinking coffee, reading his paper, trying to pass the time. Mama's in the kitchen burning up a telephone line.
this truly has been an honor to sort of bring it back around to, I mean, when we think about the long ride, when we think about the being on this journey, this career journey, and sometimes getting the opportunity to ride the wave, really no people are more responsible for our piece of that than the two of you, and we appreciate you so much. And
thank you for saying that.
You've been an inspiration.
And we're honored you thought of us to have us.
Very
come do
honored.
this. Thank you.
We're excited.
We love you guys to death.
Love y'all too.
Big thanks to the Bowery Vault in East
Thank you,
Nashville for being a part of this. Big thanks again.
Such a cool place.
It's a
If I don't
cool
walk
place.
out the door with everything in here,
I know. That's the plan, is we get artists to come in here and buy all the stuff that's
there
in
is
the
a
world.
lavender jacket Stacey has.
I'm been doing a lavender jacket.
Well, would you guys please do one more song for
Okay.
us to take us out of here?
Yeah.
Thank you guys so
you.
much.
Okay,
Thank
love
y'all. Love y'all too.
I want to say that this is a song that Stacey co-wrote with Doug Gill, and it's my favorite of her songs. It's always been my favorite.
3 days and 4 nights I'm driving straight through. My heart is racing, running for you. Yellow lines and white lines like ribbons strewn forever, tugging me, pulling me, working together, bring me one day closer, one day closer to you, boy. Well, I just might drive all night long, to be one day closer to you. Hotels and motels and neons that cry all night, here to serve, why yes sir, we'll treat you right. Headlights and tail lights that rock me through them sleeping towns, my foot down its next town, knock another border down to get one day closer, one day closer to you, boy. I just might drive all night long to be one day closer to you. I'm on my way. Yes, I feel alright. I promise not to close my eyes till I'm home safe by your side. When the moon's gone, it's breaking dawn, desert's gone to sleep. While my wheels are turning, I'll be burning through its bed of dreams. Through Bakerfield and Barstow, Kingman and Flagstaff, galloping to Albuquerque to come carry me back to get one day closer, one day closer to you, boy. I just might drive all night long to be one day closer to Amarillo, almost home.
Thank you. So fun. Such a good time. Thank you.
Well, there you go, Stacey and Mark. Man, they've been so good to us and so good to everybody else. Like we were saying there in the podcast, we just appreciate everything they've done and their music.
Can you believe that we got to do that interview?
I can't.
I
Can't.
feel that it feels like such a life goal for me to have those kind of moments to talk to Stacey and Mark in a public space about how meaningful their careers and art has been.
It's not overstating it at all to say that without the two of them, we would absolutely not be doing this. There's no question.
That is
Yeah, for
absolutely the truth.
We've got the final segment of the podcast coming up here in just a minute, the creative prompt. But before we do that, we want to talk about the Russell Nashville.
This is something else that we couldn't do this podcast without.
That's exactly right.
The Russell Nashville, which is an amazing 23-room boutique hotel really close to 5 Points in East Nashville. And it's an old church right
gorgeous.
on Russell Street, and it's been converted into a hotel, and it is stunning.
It's the most beautiful hotel in East Nashville by a long shot. Also, by the way, they have this Rooms for Rooms program, which is amazing, where they take a portion of everything that you spend as a customer there and donate that back into different homeless organizations here in town that provide free showers and free beds for the homeless population here in Nashville, which is an amazing thing.
So check this out. Our 7th annual Wild Ponies trail ride is taking over the entire Russell Hotel for the trail ride weekend. And as a result of our stay taking over that hotel for just that one weekend, we're going to provide about 600 showers and about 240 rooms to people in need right here in Nashville. I had not done that math.
That's amazing.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, it feels really good.
And it's a stunning place.
And it's a stunning place. And we get to stay in a stunning place. That's true.
It's amazing.
We went over there the other day and shot a little video of us wandering around the Russell. So we're going to share that on Facebook today. So check that out. Facebook.com/wildponiesmusic. We've got a little video of us over there wandering around. And that was really fun.
So fun.
Okay, and now
it's time.
It's time. The final segment of this week's podcast, the creative prompt.
So this is the portion of the podcast where you get involved.
Yeah.
We're going to offer a creative prompt, and then we just want you to create something. It can be a cocktail, you can take a picture, you can write a haiku, you can paint something, you can create a dance, whatever you're inspired by this particular prompt to do. And then when you share that on social media, hashtag Ponycast, PONYCAST, so that we can see how creative you are.
Listen, I promise you, if you're listening to this, there's a creative spark somewhere inside you, whether you've been accessing that or not. Just try. Just try.
So fun. I absolutely asked Doug, how do I feel about these coming in?
You cry every time the hashtag Ponycast pops up. It's amazing.
I love it
so if you would
much.
if you would like to make Talisha cry this week, that's easy for you to do. All you have to do is take something that has to do with what's the prompt, Talisha?
The prompt is 1 day closer.
1 day closer. So there you go, 1 day closer. All you have to do to make Talisha cry is post something with the hashtag Ponycast. It's a piece of art that you've created based on 1 day closer.
Go, do it, make art.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you want to hear the full, long, uninterrupted version that's about maybe a half hour, maybe 40 minutes longer than this, with more songs and more interviews with Stacey and Mark, you can have that for only $1 by going to patreon.com/wildponies.
And if you're even more into it than just the extended version, you can even access a video of Wild Ponies doing a cover of a Stacey Earle and Mark Stuart song.
This show, actually, we're doing a video of a song, the first place we ever met Stacey and Mark, in my mom's basement. When we were playing a house concert there. It's amazing. Kind of cool.
So great.
Yeah, so go check it out on patreon.com/wildponies. I want to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors of this show, Lurstrom 1917 and the Russell Nashville. Please check them out. You can find out more about them by going to our website, wildponies.net, and clicking the TLR link and looking at the show notes for this episode 5.
That's right. And thank you so much to the Bowery Vault for hosting season 1 of The Long Ride with Wild Ponies, and to Ear Trumpet Labs microphones
And also, you can listen to us every Thursday at noon and 9 on WSM's Route 650.
Yeah.
If you want to hear us there as well. And of course, as always, thanks to you. Go make some art, people. Do something.
There you have it. Season 1, Episode 5 of The Long Ride with Wild Ponies featuring Stacey Earle and Mark Stuart.
Thanks, y'all. See you next time.